got so much fucking design on right now.
After the rumors, Yang Mei Mei breaks her silence about Yulong, fans in tears. What if I told you that behind every rumor, behind every whispered headline, behind the flashing lights and perfectly edited photos, there was a story far more fragile and far more human? What if I told you that Yang Mei Mei, the woman the internet accused, defended, and misunderstood, has finally spoken? And that when she did, her words left millions trembling, with tears streaming down their faces, realizing that maybe they had judged too soon. Hold on tight, K-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. It had been weeks since Yulong's accident, weeks of silence, speculation, and heartbreak. No official statements. No photos. Only rumors spinning endlessly, each one heavier than the last. Was he conscious? Was she there with him? Had their love survived the chaos, the fame, the crash that changed everything? The internet was relentless. Comment sections turned into battlefields. Some accused Yang Mei Mei of abandoning him. Others swore they saw her at the hospital, wearing a mask, hiding tears beneath dark glasses. But through it all, she said nothing. Until now. It began with a simple post. No hashtags. No filters. No makeup. Just a photo, a single white candle, and beneath it, 10 words that silenced the internet. Some promises are not broken. They are waiting to be fulfilled. Within minutes, her name trended worldwide. Comments flooded in. Is she talking about Yulong? Is he okay? Is this her goodbye? And then, an hour later, she went live. The live stream that broke millions. Her voice was soft. Her eyes, red, swollen, exhausted. You could hear the tremor as she spoke, each word carrying the weight of weeks of bottled pain. I wasn't ready to speak, she began. I wasn't ready to face the cameras, the comments, or the questions. She paused. The silence stretched, and then, she continued. But he would want me to. The chat froze. Every viewer leaned in. She took a deep breath. The night of the accident. I was on the phone with him. Her voice cracked. He was tired. We argued. It was stupid, about something small, something that didn't matter. Her hand trembled as she wiped her eyes. I told him I didn't want to talk anymore. He said he was sorry. I didn't answer. And then her voice broke completely. That was the last thing I heard from him, I'm sorry. The truth behind the silence. Fans began crying in the chat. Comments flooded. No, Mei Mei, don't blame yourself. We understand now. Please stay strong. But she didn't stop. I stayed silent because I didn't want to turn his pain into headlines. I didn't want people to pity me, or to use his name for views. Her tone shifted, firmer, rawer. I know what they said about me. That I wasn't there. That I didn't care. But I was there every single day. I just didn't want the cameras to see me. She showed her wrist, a hospital bracelet, faded, creased, still clinging to her skin. I didn't go there for the world to see. I went there because he's the only world I know. For a moment, she couldn't speak. She covered her mouth, sobbing quietly, and you could feel the world crying with her. The message she left for you long before ending the stream, she said one last thing. I don't know if he can hear me now. But if he can, I want him to know that I'm still here. And I'll wait. Even if it takes years. Even if no one believes in us anymore. I'll still wait. The live stream ended. And within minutes, hashtag Yang Mei Mei trended across every platform. Clips of her crying. Screenshots of her quote. Fans editing montages of their moments from dramas, fan meetings, interviews, every smile, every laugh, every touch now seen through a new, heartbreaking lens. The public's reaction: celebrities began posting messages of support. Directors, co-stars, even rivals, all praising her courage. She didn't owe anyone an explanation, one post read. But she gave one anyway, because love demanded it. Even Yulong's fanbase, who had once been divided, came together. They started trending the tag hashtag #ComebackStrongerYulong, pairing it with her message, "Some promises are not broken." Behind the scenes later, reports surfaced from someone close to the family. Yulong was still recovering, slowly, quietly, away from the cameras. His condition was stable, but doctors said it would take time for him to fully return. And when asked if he knew about Yang Mei Mei's livestream, the source simply said, he heard it. And he smiled. The truth about love in the spotlight: theirs was never just a romance. It was a battle, against distance, against fame, against the unrelenting pressure of the public eye. But in the end, Yang Mei Mei's words reminded everyone of something simple, something powerful, that love isn't proven through posts or appearances. It's proven in the silence, in the waiting, in the moments when the world demands you speak, but your heart says, he already knows. The night everything changed, it was past midnight when the world inside that hospital shifted. The nurse on duty described it later, how the monitors had stayed steady for weeks, how the faint rhythm of his heart became the soundtrack of waiting. And then, on that night, the beeping changed. A movement. A flicker. A hand that trembled against the sheets. They called the doctors. They called the family. And within an hour, Yang Mei Mei was there. She arrived breathless, still wearing her coat, her eyes red from crying and sleepless nights. The nurse tried to stop her at the door. But the doctor nodded gently and said, "Let her in. He knows her." The first word, she stepped in slowly. The room was quiet, just the hum of machines, the scent of antiseptic, the glow of moonlight filtering through the blinds. She took his hand, cold but alive, and whispered his name through trembling lips. "Yulong, it's me." For a moment, nothing happened. Then, his fingers twitched. His lips moved. And the faintest whisper escaped him. "Mei. Mei." Her knees gave out. Tears poured freely as she leaned over him, pressing her forehead to his hand. He was awake. He was back. The moment the world didn't see, there were no cameras. No reporters. No fans. Just two people, broken, tired, but still bound by something the world had nearly destroyed. He blinked slowly, trying to understand, his voice weak but steady. "You're here?" She nodded, still crying. "I never left." He tried to smile, barely managing. Even after everything, her answer came in a whisper that could melt stone. "Especially after everything." The promise renewed. Doctors would later call it a medical miracle. But to her, it was something else entirely, a second chance. In the weeks that followed, she stayed by his side every day, reading scripts aloud, telling him stories, playing the songs they used to listen to together. Sometimes, he would drift off mid-sentence. Other times, he'd reach out, just to make sure she was still there. And every time he did, she would whisper, "Always." The hidden video, no one knew she had recorded it, a 15-second clip on her phone, taken the night he first smiled again. It showed him sitting up slowly, his hair messy, a faint bruise still visible. He looked at her and said softly, "You waited." She replied, "You said you'd find your way back." And then, he smiled. That clip never made it online. It wasn't meant for fame. It was meant for memory. For proof that love had won, quietly, away from the noise. The world finds out, but news travels fast, and within days, fans noticed subtle signs. A nurse's photo from the hospital cafeteria, a blurry reflection in a window, a hand that looked too much like Yang Mei Mei's. Then, the post appeared on Yulong's official account. A single line. 4 words that broke the internet again. "I heard you waiting." In less than an hour, the post hit 10 million likes. Comments poured in, from fans, from colleagues, from people who had followed their journey since the beginning. True love exists. This feels like a drama, but it's real. You both deserve peace. The final voiceover in the world of fame and fiction, where love stories are often written for cameras, Yulong and Yang Mei Mei reminded everyone that sometimes, the most powerful ones are written in real life, with tears, waiting, and faith. Because at the end of every storm, there is always that one voice that whispers through the noise, "I heard you waiting."